Greetings, I'm Barrett and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today we're continuing our playthrough of Kingdom Death Monster. We just took down a level 3 antelope. It was an amazing fight. I had a fantastic time. We only lost one person, so I think we did pretty good. We're going to go ahead and move into the settlement phase now and see what happens to our brave survivors. Of course, at the end of the battles, I always go ahead and do the hunt XP during our settlement phase. So let's go ahead and take care of the hunt XPs and weapon proficiencies for our 3 survivors that came back. Sorry, Klingon is super dead. She is super dead. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that. First, we have Ullen. I went ahead and put in his 2 hunt XP. Now, of course, we do get to roll our 2 dice and see what happens for our age event that we've seen a million times. Let's go ahead and roll the dice. We've got an 8, which means he's going to get a random fighting art. So we're going to go ahead and give these a good old truffle shuffle here. And we're going to grab a fighting art out of our deck and see what we get. We're going to take this one right here. It'll be our fighting art. It'll be awesome. Let's see what he has. He has Crazed. On a perfect hit, gain 1 insanity. Oh, that might be actually pretty good. So we're going to go ahead, fill in that, and move on to our next character. Fistondantilus is next. He's going to go ahead and roll his 2 dice and see what he gets. We're going to also, I forgot to do weapon proficiencies. For Ullen, we've given him Spear, because I'm planning to kind of move forward with spears with those people. And now we also have Bow for Fistondantilus, because he fired that bow and he did such a good job. Let's see what he gets for his age event. He got a total of 9, which again is going to be a fighting art. So we're going to go ahead and mix up our fighting arts and see which one he gets. Hopefully he gets a pretty good one. Oh, Crazed was okay, but I'm hoping for something maybe a little bit better. Let's go bow time. Combo Master. On a perfect hit, make an additional attack roll with his bow. That's going to be awesome. I hope that works right. All right, we're going to go ahead, write that down on his card, and move on to the next character. Gold Moon is our last survivor. We're going to go ahead and give her club, of course, unless these dice decide on something different. She's gone ahead and got a natural double. That's awesome. 2 10s. That means she rolled a 20, and she gains permanent luck. That is awesome. +1 luck. Oh, so good. I think we had another character get that too. I think it was Kaz. All right, she's done, and we're going to move on. With our returning survivors finished, we're going to move into the settlement phase. And if you're excited to see what happens, then I need you to meet me at the table. Now, if we go ahead and take a look, we're going to have our survivors return. Then we're going to gain our endeavors. We get 1, 2, 3 for our returning survivors. Then we get 2 for Klingon. And then we're also going to gain 1 more because of our cooking innovations. We have, what, 6 endeavors that we can do. Now, the next thing I have to do is update our timeline. So we're going to go ahead and see what happens as we draw our event and do what it says on our sheet of paper. We have come to lantern year 19. There's a total of 30, so we're way over halfway. We're almost 2/3 of the way through. At this point, I'm also just going to update my death count. This is at a different time, but I'm just going to do it now since we're at this point in the game. So we have to draw a settlement event, and we also have to take on the Kingsman level 2 during this year. So we're going to go ahead and give these a little truffle shuffle here and see which one we get. We're going to take this one right here. Hopefully it's not death and destruction or evilness. They're usually all pretty evil. It is Skull Eater. Randomly choose a returning survivor and give them +3 insanity. If there are no returning survivors, choose a survivor from the settlement to gain +3 insanity. The survivor consumes the skull of a deceased survivor. They awoken the hunger that cannot be stopped and roll on the table below. They gain the following impairment: Marrow Hunger. When the murder or skull eater settlement events are drawn, this survivor is nominated. Oh, yuck. All right, let's see what we can do here. So I have to randomly choose a returning survivor. We can do that. We're going to roll a die. On a 1, 2, 3, it's Gold Moon. On a 4, 5, 6, it's Ullen. And on a 7, 8, 9, it's Fistondantilus. All right, we have rolled a 6. It's going to be Ullen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it is Ullen. Ullen is our Skull Eater. He is going to go ahead and roll on the table below. Hopefully he gets a high number, because that would probably be better. Oh, it's cocked. Let's roll it again. We got a still cocked. Let's roll it again. So it's not 4. All right. Let's see what we get. 4. Skull Eater's activities go unnoticed. They gain 1 permanent strength and courage and murder settlement event to the timeline next year. Oh no, I have to add a murder. Okay, so we get the Hooded Knight, who's going to be awesome. Plus then we're also going to add what? Murder. M-U-R. How do I spell murder? I don't want to even deal with this. It's going to be terrible. All right. Murder sweetness to the timeline. So we have to deal with the Hooded Knight. We're going to be watched, and we have a murder, and we also deal with the settlement event. That's awesome. But he does get +1 permanent strength and +1 courage. So we're going to give that to Ullen. With our Skull Eater thing resolved, we're going to go ahead and update the death count. We have done that. We're going to check our milestone. We've done that. We're going to go ahead and develop. We have an absolute monstrous amount of stuff. I have so much stuff, I don't even know what to do. So this is everything we have from our hunts and our battle with that antelope. It's an absolute monstrous amount of stuff. I don't even know what to do with it all. Some of the things I could do is, somebody's been telling me that cooking is important and I should be looking into cooking. I looked into it. I could use this nightmare tick and some of these other resources to create +1 evasion on a character, which wouldn't be too bad. I think we're going to save the nightmare tick and not use them during this settlement, and maybe use it next time, because we know that murder event is coming, and so we're going to be losing our highest XP survivor. So maybe it'd be best to use that in the next turn when we come back from our next hunt, or next adventure, I should say, because we're not be hunting anything. We're going to be having to take out a Kingsman or something. We're going to go ahead, and first we have to innovate. So I am going to use a bone, an organ, and a hide. We're going to spend these 3 resources and of course one of our endeavors to go ahead and innovate. So I'm going to take this deck, mix it all up. We get 4 of these because of our symposium event. 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the 4 we're going to take. There's only 3 left. Let's see what we have found. We have found partnership. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure you've seen these all. Sacrifice. This is new. This was from our shrine one. Death ritual. 1 pointless death, 2 -2 population. Wow. Screamer, -1 population, departing survivors gain insanity. Grim acceptance, -1 population, departing survivors gain +3 insanity. -1 population, you lose all of your insanity and must remove one of your disorders, or may remove one of your disorders. If you do not depart this settlement phase, you may now do so, even if you're retired. Oh my gosh, that's actually not too bad, but look at this. I'm going to lose a population every time we do this, so okay. So that's sacrifice, and then we've got bloodletting. This is the one I wanted last time, because I can get rid of, it says down here, the bottom one, cured, gain 6 insanity. You may remove one of the following: a disorder of your choice, warped pelvis, or intestinal prolapse. And this is going to be awesome. 1 understanding, lose all survival. Okay, the settlement phase for any reason. All right, well, that's the way it goes. I think I might keep this one. What's our last one? Sculpture. Yeah, we're going to get rid of these 3. I'm going to grab bloodletting this time. Bloodletting is going to be the innovation we take for this adventure here, for our settlement. Now I have to figure out what we're going to make. One thing we can do is we can create our blacksmith. It takes 6 bone and 3 scrap. Oh, we can't. I only have 2 scraps. We can't even make the blacksmith at this time. So I wonder what we could make. Let's look through our settlement events and figure out what we can get. Or sorry, settlement locations. Here's what I was thinking about making. So we could take our stone circle. Since we can't do our blacksmith, this is what I was thinking. I could create right now an entire set of screaming gear to replace the rawhide set that somebody's using right now. On top of that, I can also create the Lance of Longinus. Those that have seen Evangelion, that's where I think this is from. It says I need my legendary horns, which we got in that last adventure. I need that and 6 organs. Now that would take pretty much everything we have. Our organs are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have an extra small hands. So that's our 6 organs. To make the rest of this, I will need my spiral horn, which I have right here. 1 scrap, bring me down to 1, which is going to make it harder to make that blacksmith. I then can grab, I need 1, 2, 3, 4 pelts, which I have 1, 2, and I have 2 still in my gear here. 2 pelts here, so that's 4 pelts. And I need 2 hides and a bone. I've got 1, 2 hides here, and then of course I've got a lot of bone. I've got an absolute exorbitant amount of bone. That way I could actually start getting rid of some of our gear, that stuff that's taking up multiple slots in our gear grid, and start using only maybe 1 weapon at a time. I could start giving that person our King's Spear, and the other one I could give the Lance of Longinus to. our Lance of Longinus is very similar to our King Spear, except for one thing. It's got 9 strength as opposed to 3. Now, of course, the only problem with it is irreplaceable. So if I lose it, it would be really bad. Each showdown, the first time you wound the monster, it gains a -1 toughness token. So I would have to go fight a level 3 again to get this back if I lose this during a fight. So I might build it, but not use it in the next fight because I'm afraid to lose these things to the Kingsman. I'm feeling the Kingsman's going to rock us, and I would hate to lose the Lance of Longinus to that because we know we can take a level 3 antelope down. We could go ahead and use it during that fight. I think that's going to be our play. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all of our organs. We're also going to go ahead and get rid of our 4 pelts, 1 of our hide, another 1 of our hide from the storage here, bringing us down to 1 hide. Where is it? I'll use my small hands. And then here's my monster hide. I'm down to 1. I've used both of our pelts, and it leaves me with tail feathers, fresh acanthus, sword, beetle. I still have 3 skulls. I only have 1 broken lantern now as scrap. I have 4 iron, which I can't even do anything with. And of course, like I said, I could make this nightmare tick, but in order to do that, I would have needed to make the actual concoction. I would have needed the beast steak that I just used. We of course have to use our legendary horns to create the Lance of Longinus. And I believe that's going to be it. So I might go ahead and archive these unless I see something else that would be cool. I don't think there's anything else that I can build at this point. We're going to be left with a ton of bone, and that's fine. We can use that when we finally get our blacksmith up and running. We can start using this bone to create some of our iron armor, which will be really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and put these back into our settlement storage. We're going to just archive all that stuff into the resource storages, and we're going to continue on with the rest of our thing, which we have done developed. We're going to prepare our departing survivors, and we're going to record and archive resources, and we're going to end the settlement phase. Now, of course, if there's anything out here you see that you think I would want, that you think would be really good, please let me know, and maybe I can try to get that onto one of our characters before we do our fight, because there isn't going to be a hunt phase, so I have no problem switching out something before we actually take on our Kingsman level 2. After a lot of thought and debate as to what I should do, I have decided actually to not create these. I've decided not to create another set of screaming armor. The reason why is because I have so many resources that if we can ever get the blacksmith opened, I could really create some great gear. So I think I want to again save almost everything except for what I used to make the Lance of Longinus. So we're going to keep that, but we're going to give back the other gear. If you think that's a bad idea, please let me know in the description below. Or if you have an idea of what you think we should make, please let me know in the description below. We're going to continue on. I still have all of these endeavors. We're going to go ahead and use these endeavors to try to do some awesome things. The first thing we're going to do is our bloodletting. I want to spend an endeavor to go ahead and bloodlet. Now, of course, I also have to spend a resource and roll a d10. Well, we have a couple resources. We're going to use our crab spider, and we're going to try to cure Huma. Huma has that apathetic and disorder, which is absolutely terrible. He's going to go ahead and roll and see what happens. Hopefully he gets a really good, nope, he got a 1. That's not going to be very good at all. Let's see what it says here. It says, you gain 1 understanding, lose all survival, and you cannot gain survival of the settlement phase for any reason. Awesome. So he's apathetic, no survival, but he does gain 1 understanding, meaning he has hit a milestone in understanding, which of course we have seen many times. Since he's in during the, the settlement phase, he's going to gain 1 of these. He gains the Tinkerer, 1 right here, and then he's going to roll a d10, and let's see what he gains. He got a Lantern 10, which means he gains 1 permanent strength. So if we can just get rid of this, he would be awesome. He's going to go up to 3 permanent strength. That's amazing. Now, sadly, that was our bloodletting. I could try it again if I want to. I don't think it says I can only do it once per settlement phase, but we have some other things I want to do. Of course, we want to try our face painting so we can get our guys with full survival leaving here, plus an extra insanity or 2 isn't bad. So let's see what we got. We got an 8. We were able to survive face painting. I'm going to go ahead and ditch another one of these. I also want to do our records. We took down a level 3 antelope. I'm going to go ahead and spend this, and we're going to go ahead and retire somebody. We are actually going to retire Burham Everman. He's our savior, I know it, but he's also got an intracranial hemorrhage, which means he can never use survival anyway. So if I can get, I know there's probably an innovation here that could probably help with this, but I'm just going to get rid of him. He's going to be the one that retires, because it says on here that I have to retire him because he spends all this time writing about it. You laboriously create a volume about a monster you have defeated during your lifetime. Add monster name X volume X, where X is the level of the defeated monster, to the settlement record sheet. The work is exhausting. You retire. There can be up to 3 volumes of each monsters. Oh, let's hear about a monster you have defeated. He hasn't defeated it. Oh no, I got to get rid of one of those other guys, but they're so good. I think it's only fitting. We're going to go ahead and have Fist Undantalus, who has defeated the level 3 Antelope. Go ahead and use that. He's got his Combo Master, which is pretty cool, and he was our bow guy, but he also already has -1 accuracy, and he only has +1 strength, where other characters have so much more going for them. So he's going to retire, but he is going to be able to do our records for the level 3 Antelope. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down on our sheet. Now again, he was not defeated or died or anything, he just retired. So he stays in our settlement population pool. Continuing on, I think we're going to go ahead and do our shrine as well. We're going to roll that up and see what happens. Hopefully I get a 4 or better. I got another Lantern 10, so everybody's going to be able to gain the extra armor when we're able to go out of here. So I'm just going to go ahead and remember these 2 that we get to keep, because we're going to gain the benefits from those. Those are going to go back. I had to spend a survival of that, leaving me with 1, which means we can go ahead and use this 1 to... oh, what is it? Oh, we can augur. I'm going to go ahead and augur. Let's see if we're able to get some intimacy going on here. Now, in order to do that, I have to select a survivor. I'm going to go ahead and select, we're going to select Gold Moon. Gold Moon's going to go ahead and do it. We're going to roll. She got a 4. I don't think that's going to be any good. 4 is not that. It is gain 1 survival. Awesome. So we've used our last endeavor to gain a survival. She's going to go up to 5. And that's it. We're done with our development step. Again, please let me know if you think there's anything I should have probably created during this time that I didn't, because I'm not that great at this game. But we have a lot of people out there in the comment section that has been doing this game for a lot, or knows a little bit more about it. The community for this game is absolutely phenomenal, and I enjoy having you all with me. We're going to continue on with departing survivors and see what we do. Sarah is returning to our fight. She's going to go ahead and take on the White Lion gear. This has never changed. It's exactly the same. So we're going to see how that goes. Next we have Ullen. Of course, he has his anxiety, which isn't the end of the world. I think he gets the priority target token at the beginning of the showdown. Not the end of the world. He's going to go ahead and grab our screaming gear, and I have given him the Lance of Longinus. We're going to give it a shot and see how it goes. I've also given him a Founding Stone, just in case we know of a critical hit coming from our Cat Eye Circlet. I can toss that if needed to hopefully save some of our characters if something really bad is going on. That's going to be the end of him. He's going to go ahead and, of course, gain 2 to everything, or 1 to everything, I apologize, and then he's also going to gain the extra from the shrine for his armor, which is pretty awesome. The Screaming Gear is going to be able to give 2 to everything, so he's going to get +3 to all of his hit locations on top of what you see here, which is an immense amount. So he's going to have 6 for his skirt and head and 5 for all the other places. So I filled that in, and this is one of the reasons I was thinking about getting a full another Screaming set, but if I do, I kind of lose the ability of using that bow, because this really doesn't work with a bow. It works with spears and guitars really well. Golden's continuing to go with us, and I thought she had the most HUD XP. I forgot about the other characters. Like, we have Riverwind. Oh, Riverwind actually lost also experience. We have Silvaria. She has a ton of XP, so she's probably going to be the one that gets murdered, which isn't the end of the world, because she's sadly not useful anymore. It's so sad when one thing can cripple a survivor so badly. I think she's apathetic just like everybody else. She's going to go ahead and grab our entire leather gear set. It again hasn't changed. It's the same as what it was before. 6 to all of our hit locations, which should be really good. And of course, 9 survival and 5 insanity. This is Morel. She's a new survivor that's going to be coming along with us. She's going to grab the rawhide gear. She's got an arc bow. I've given her the clawhead arrow this time. She used to carry with her the pick and the sickle, but we're not actually going to be able to use any of those because we're going to be going right into a nemesis fight. So instead, I've given her bandages and the clawhead arrow in replace. 9 survival, 3 to everything, and we're going to see how it goes. And that's going to be it for our settlement video. We have gone through and done everything we can. It's going to be time to take on the Kingsman at level 2. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it through, but we'll give it our best shot. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell symbol so you know when the fight against the Nemesis comes up. It's going to be a lot of fun. I really like these Nemesis fights. They really are cool. Please leave anything in the comments below. I would love to hear from everyone. I know the settlement phase I didn't do too much. Should I have done more with my resources? That's the biggest question I have. So if anybody has any ideas of what you think I should have maybe purchased and equipped to our characters to set out on our adventure here, please let me know in the comments below, and maybe I'll switch it up before that fight happens. That's going to be about it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're excited to see if we can take on that Kingsman level 2, then I need you to meet me at the table.